I'm gonna do a get ready today just because I haven't filmed one in a while and I have a couple new products I kind of wanted to play around with. So I already have on like my moisturizer and my under eye cream. I'm gonna toss on a lip plumper, so by the end of me getting ready my lips will be a little bit more plump and moisturized. So I just received this set not too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. This is some of the GrandeLips products. You guys know I have a love affair with their lash serum. It's really helped my eyelashes look a little bit longer. This set actually comes with these 3 nude shades of their lip plumpers, and you can see on this nude one in the center and this one here, I've used them so much that you can actually see the white, the end of the product pushing up, and it's almost finished. So I've used the clear one and this nude one quite a bit, and then this pink one, I definitely thought that would be the one that I would gravitate towards. The pink one is Spicy Mauve, this nude one is Sun-Baked Sedona, and then the clear one is just the original clear. This is what I'm going to be applying to the lips really quickly. I don't feel like these have any problems with them whatsoever. I really love the clear one. You just click them up from the bottom. You definitely have to be kind of careful when you apply this to the lips because it does that thing where, say you do a swatch on the back of your hand, it will kind of leave a raised welt on your hand, so it will plump up and redden the area where it's applied. So if you get it outside of the lip line at all, it'll make that a little bit red and irritated and raised as well. So anyway, I really like those. They smell like vanilla. Really enjoying that set. As you can see, 2 of them are at least halfway finished off. My hair is kind of driving me crazy, but I pulled the front back so I could do something with my face. I think I'll probably pull it up in a bun later, but I'm just gonna go on with my makeup products. First product I'm going to be applying is my Clinique Superbalanced foundation. I have the shade Alabaster in this. I really feel like I could get away with a shade or 2 lighter than this, but when she matched it to me, I think I had a little bit of bronzer on or something. I'm just dotting a little bit around, and like I said, it might be a little bit dark for me, but it's a pretty sheer foundation. It does provide a nice amount of coverage, I feel like. I'm just blending this around with a Real Techniques brush. So that is one super light layer on the skin. I'm gonna put a second layer on just to try and even everything out. I'm gonna go in with my favorite concealer. Because that foundation is so crazy sheer, I can go in with a heavier concealer and just conceal some areas that I'm concerned about, like under the eye area, any redness on the face. So I'm just gonna apply this really quickly. I'm gonna put some underneath the eye area, like I said, a little bit down the nose, center of the forehead. And I'm just gonna go around and dab this in with my fingertip. And it looks like a lot more than it really is, just because I have a ton of little dots all over the place. Man, my lips are super red right now. Now that I have the concealer blended around, I'm going to be using the powder that's in my current Project 10 pan. I should have an update on that coming up any day now or in the next few days, but this is my Bare Minerals Loose Original Powder. I have the shade Fairly Light in this powder. I just tap a little bit into the cap, and then I use my little Makeup Forever blending brush, or is this my e.l.f. one? I think this is my e.l.f. kabuki brush. I literally just dab this around, coat it on the brush, tap it off a little bit so it's not too crazy, and then I gently tap this around, mostly on the outside perimeter of my face since I do have super dry skin. It's a little bit better recently, but it's still dry. I do have a little bit of brow product in my brows just because this morning, super early, I just kind of penciled them in as fast as I could, but I'm going to touch them up a little bit. I have a tiny bit left in my Anastasia brow pencil. This one's in medium brown, so I'm just going to kind of go along underneath and fill in any sparse areas that were missed this morning. They're a little crazy, but with the way that they're growing in lately, I've been using a brow serum and they're just out of control. They're so hard to get the shape right because I've got all these new hairs growing in where I don't normally have hairs, so it's just a little difficult to get them crisp and nice. Okay, well, that's where I'm gonna have to leave them because my brow pencil is dead. So I'm gonna run a little bit of brow gel over them. I'm gonna use the Anastasia Tinted Brow Gel in Granite. Hopefully this will keep some of those crazy, wild, stray hairs that are growing in place a little bit. Give it a little bit more definition throughout. I'm gonna go in as usual with my MAC Painterly paint pot and just put a base all over the lid so it makes it one uniform color. I really like this product. I'm getting pretty far down in there. I probably would have already hit pan, but I don't know, maybe 6 months ago my product in here had kind of shifted, so I had to squish it all back down. So I lost all the progress that I had, but hopefully I'll hit the bottom of this glass of the paint pot pretty soon. I already did this eye here, but I'm just running a little bit of black liner, just a black pencil liner right at the outer corner of my tight line over here. I'm going to be using two products here. I'm going to be using this new item that I got through the Octoly website from Clarins. I thought this was really pretty. I have one of these and it's like a summer 2017 quad from Clarins. This one is just one that's available all the time. It's not limited edition as far as I know, but this is the 4-color eyeshadow palette in number 7, Lovely Rose, if you can see on the back there. These are the colors. In this one there's like a champagne kind of light pink almost color here. There's like a corally pink, a matte light purple, and then a deep shimmery kind of plum color. It's a really pretty color palette here, I think. I've kind of played in a few of these, but I think I'm gonna use this for today and try and make a cohesive look, and then I'm also probably gonna pull in a couple shades from the LoracPro2 since I am panning this for 2018. So I think I'm gonna start off with this shade in the LoracPro2. It's called Buff. It's just a matte white, kind of like a yellowy matte cream color. I'm gonna use this Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush just to buff this all over where I put down the paint pot, just so there's a smooth transition with the shadows and the base is smooth. I received this little duo from Real Techniques a while back. I've already done a review on these brushes. They're really cute. They're these little teeny brushes with a slight angle on them. I'm going to be using these with my eyeshadow today. They're the Instapop eyeshadow brushes. There's the Instapop crease brush, which is this teeny one, and then the Instapop shade brush, which is the larger one. And I really like how they're shaped like that because you can get right into the crease and then blow the shadow out up from the crease area. It's really nice. So I'm going to take the bigger one, the shade brush, and I'm going to go in this second shade right here. Actually, I'm going to go into that matte purple shade and kind of toss that into the crease area and see how that looks on its own. I'm just loading up the brush. You can see there. And we'll flip it so that the shadow is like that. And just kind of dab it along the crease so the shadow is placed right above it. And I'll flip the brush over and blend. I'm just applying a little bit more in the crease. I really like this shade. I wish it was just a little bit more pigmented, but it does its job. I feel like I think it gives enough color, but it's not overwhelming on the eyes. Okay, so I have that main shadow down. I think it's kind of pretty. My lips are kind of throwing me off here, but I think I'll go into that coral right there, the pinky coral shade, the rosy coral, whatever you want to call it. And I'm using this other Instapop brush, just getting a little bit on there, and I'm gonna actually place this in like the center of the lid and to the right. Actually, we'll pull it all the way to the end and then I'll put some purple over that. I distinctly remember this shadow. In person, it definitely doesn't look as bright as it does on the camera here, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that shade that we used first, this kind of matte light purple, on the same brush here. I'll wipe it off on the back of my hand, but I'm gonna take that purple and I'm actually going to put it on that outer corner, so hopefully it looks a little bit brighter. I know it looks a little nutty, but then I'm gonna take the little sponge tip applicator thing that came in this actual quad, and I'm gonna use one of the fat sides and just the lightest shade right here. I'm gonna put this on the inner corner of the eye and bring it up a bit. Maybe like the first third of my eye or so. Then I'm gonna flip this little thing over, and with the pointed end, I'm gonna go into this deeper purple shade. This one is super pigmented, not like the other ones. This one's quite pigmented. I'm gonna put this at the outer corner just to deepen up that crease a little bit, and then I'll blend it out with a different brush. I'm gonna take my MAC 221 and get just the tiniest little bit of that deep purple onto the brush and run it through that area that I laid it down, just to blend this area out. I really like these brushes. Have you guys heard that MAC has discontinued their natural haired brushes and now they only have synthetic ones? So crazy. Even the 217, it's been around for years. I just can't believe it. I can't believe they didn't keep the natural bristle brushes and just, you know, bring in a secondary synthetic line or something. I can't believe they're gone. It's so nuts. Okay, so I just ran whatever's left over on the brush, you know, up throughout the crease a little bit more. So I'm pretty satisfied with that top area, so maybe I'll work on the bottom lid in just a minute, but I thought I was going to use a little bit more out of the LoracPro besides just that one shade, but I guess I just used that one shade. I think I might pull in a little bit of color just to spice it up a tiny bit. I got this from the last VIB sale. If I remember, I'll link my Sephora VIB sale from the fall time down in the description box, but this is the Marc Jacobs HiLiner Gel Eye Crayon in the shade, this is so pretty, where's the color? Where's the color? Peridot. So it's this very light kind of shimmery green color. I'll give you a little swatch. Is that not beautiful? I think I've included this in one of my favorites videos, but if I haven't, I should, because it is gorgeous. I think I'm gonna pull this a little bit just right underneath the bottom lash line just for a little spice of color. Drag it right from that inner corner shade and back. And I'm actually gonna put this in the waterline as well, so I'll probably have to do that off camera, but I think that's so pretty. It looks a little crazy with the top lid, but I think after I put some liner on, I think it'll look okay. So I'm gonna do this eye too, and then I'll be right back. You know what? I think this needs a little sparkle. I think this needs to be just a little bit more intense. I'm gonna take my Stila, what is this? The Next to Notte Glitter and Glow Shadow. I'm just gonna put this on the very outer corner of my eye. I'm just patting it out so it's a little bit more diffused and not so harsh. I think that looks all right. I'm gonna put a little bit underneath the bottom lash line too. Hopefully marry those two together. I'll use the e.l.f. brush for this part. I think that looks pretty. I'm gonna put a tiny bit more on the upper lash line. So I totally thought I was filming and I wasn't, but the only thing that you missed was me applying my Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper just along the upper lash line. I tried not to cover up as much of that Stila glitter as I could, but one wing got kind of carried away and then the other one got carried away, so anyway. I'm gonna leave my wings alone because I'm sure if I keep messing with them then they're just gonna get even more messed up. So before I put on mascara, I think I'm gonna go in and put on some bronzer. I have my Tarte Park Avenue Princess. This is just the little mini one that's part of the Forgotten Loves project pan that's going on currently. I'll link that up in the cards and in the description box, but I've been using it a little bit. You can kind of see the rings underneath the powder, so that's what I'm going to apply just to the cheeks. I'm just putting a very sheer layer down because with my eyes being as loud as they are, I don't want to draw a ton of attention to the rest of my face. I would prefer my eyes to be the only focal point. I kind of got a little crazy over here, but I'll blend it out. Like I said, just a little bit around the perimeter of the face. I barely have anything on my brush. And then along the temple region up here, just to bring a little bit more color to my face. I am pretty pale, even though it's been quite sunny lately, but I'll run this around quickly, and then maybe when I'm done I can toss my hair up and make it look decent for the day. Then I'm gonna apply some blush, and I definitely want something light because my eyes are insane, as you can see. So just something that's more neutral. I'm gonna grab this NARS blush here. This one is in Sex Appeal. This is a very, very pale, like pastel peachy pink sort of color. I usually wear this one in the winter time when I'm crazy fair, but I'm gonna put some on my MAC 129 brush. Just blend it out. Hopefully this will go with the eye look and not clash. This hair definitely needs to be addressed soon. I think I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more on. It's so light that you can put like a layer or two on and I don't think it looks insane. I usually wear a lot of blush though, so maybe I just always overdo it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go in with highlighter. I got the Lou-Manizer highlighter right here. Let me get my brush. I just have a Real Techniques, I think this is the setting brush, yeah. And I do have pan on this one, so I'm just gonna go right in the center and kind of just swipe it along the cheeks. This is pretty intense, actually. To marry the two colors at the inner corner of my eye together, I put a little bit of the Lou-Manizer on my ring finger, and in the center of them, I'm just gonna dab a little bit right at the center. So I just took the same e.l.f. brush that I used to kind of drag the Stila product underneath the eyes. I'm just gonna put this right under here. I'm gonna take my Clinique Moisture Surge facial spray and just mist this around on the face before I put on my mascara. Now I'm taking the Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curler. I really like this. I like how tight of a crimp it is without actually pinching the eye. So I'm crimping the top lashes. I'm gonna go ahead and apply just a little bit of this Lancome Cils Booster Lash Primer, I guess. When I first tried out this Lancome eyelash primer, I didn't really enjoy it. I felt like it was way too clumpy, but the more that it's dried out, the more that I've been enjoying it. I actually haven't tried this Cils Booster on the bottom lashes, so that should be interesting. I'm gonna be using the Sephora Lash Craft mascara. I got this little sample in a Sephora Play box, I think, but I've really been enjoying this. I've only used it like twice, but I enjoyed it every time that I used it. So I'm gonna apply a little bit of this on the upper lashes while the bottom ones are drying, and then I'll put it on the bottom as well. The cool thing about this mascara is when you take it off, it's almost like a tubing mascara where you only have to use warm water to just pull the little tubes off your lashes. It doesn't hurt, they just come right off. You don't even need to use makeup remover. I typically do just because of the other makeup that's on my eye, like eyeliner and all that stuff. Usually that's waterproof. So my lashes are done. I initially had a lipstick set out that was a little bit darker. This is the NARS Audacious lipstick in Anna, and I think it's gorgeous. I think it would look really pretty, but I think it would kind of compete with my eyes. So I'm gonna take a safer route and go with more of a nude color. I think I'm gonna wear the lipstick that's in my Forgotten Loves project pan. This is Cream Cup from MAC. So I'm going to apply this, but first I'm going to toss on a lip liner. This is a clear one. I got this one not too long ago, but I haven't used it yet in any videos or anything. I have used it enough to sharpen it. The only sharpener that works well with this lip liner is my Boutique sharpener. This is about $4 from Sally's. Really great sharpener, and it has a larger side that you can take that little pink thing out and make it even bigger, or you can keep that little thing in there, and then it has a smaller side as well. So I just used this to sharpen the pencil, and none of my other liners would work to, or I mean none of my other sharpeners would work to actually sharpen this because it's almost like a plastic material. But this is the Lancome lipstick. This one is in Clair or Clear, and it does actually come with the lipstick brush. And at first I was like, wow, that's really dumb, but it actually helps a lot because having this paired on the actual lipstick pencil, you can just put the lip liner on, flip it just around, and get your lipstick out and apply it super precise. It's actually really helpful. I feel kind of silly thinking that it wasn't that important to have that on there, but it's actually really handy. So I'm gonna apply this really quickly to my lips that are a bit more plump because of that plumper that I put on at the beginning of the video. Since I wiped it off, they're not as red anymore either, but the lip lines, the lines in my lips are less noticeable right now, so I'm gonna take advantage of it. This doesn't feel similar to any of the other clear lip liners that I've used. Sometimes they're super thin, sometimes they're incredibly waxy. Like you can feel this on your lips, but it's very matte. It's not really sticky. It's kind of cool. So I'm going to apply my MAC lipstick now. I think I will actually use the lip brush for maybe the Cupid's bow part. So I'm gonna do that first. I really like how this lip brush, it's thick, it's dense here. Maybe you can see right there. It's a thicker brush, but it comes to a point, so it's really easy to spread it out. It's not pokey like some lip brushes are. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm really crossing my fingers that this lip color will work with my eyes. I didn't even think about that beforehand. Now that I have the upper lid done, I'm gonna go ahead and put my lip liner away and just apply the lipstick from the tube to the rest of my mouth. You can see how my eyes turned out. I actually really like this little quad. I think it's gonna come in handy to pair with some of my other quads and my other palettes and everything. So I'm super excited to play around with some of these new items. Let me know if you guys have picked up anything really cool lately that you've been enjoying, or if there's a certain video that you would like me to film, definitely let me know. And that is it. So I really appreciate you guys watching me get ready, or possibly getting ready with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.